Well, regardless, I'll be posting a. I'll try to do. I'm recording this in HD, so I'll try to get that up online on Facebook too as well.
I want to be over here. I don't want to be in the picture.
You don't want to be in the picture?
Well, I'm right here hanging off your shoulder and go, yeah, no, let's not. No, I don't want to just, I don't want to be.
That was an interesting. Peggy doesn't talk like that. Come on.
A little chipmunk.
So here, Ray, why don't we, even though we're going to have a couple more minute introduction from what we just did, wouldn't it be nice if you just tell us about what sort of paints you've got out here and introduce your materials a little bit?
Sure. Mark, why don't you introduce yourself first, though?
So anyway, here I am, folks. I'm working with Ray and Peggy on their online classes. It's been a super, how long we've been doing this? 2 years, 2.5 years, getting these things figured out, and now to do online classes. And so here we are. Ray's going to share some things with you today, and Peggy Kroll-Roberts, the Peggy Kroll-Roberts, feed questions to Ray, and it's we just have the Ray's palette is on the screen right. Yeah. Questions down the road, and Ray, say hi and tell us what we're thinking about.
Hi everybody. Welcome to my studio. These are the colors that I use on my palette. I've got on the top right is Radiant Green. I think that who makes that? Utrecht makes that.
Gamblin.
Oh no, Gamblin makes that. Phthalo Yellow Green is usually by Grumbacher. Sap Green, any sap green will do. Viridian, same thing. Cerulean Blue hue. I don't use the expensive cerulean blue. This blue is just a little bit greener. It's a lot cheaper, and it's just as permanent. Cobalt Blue, Ultramarine Blue. What else I got? I got Dioxazine Purple, Alizarin Crimson, Cad Red Light, Cad Orange, and Cad Yellow Medium. And I usually like to...
Never hurts to hear it twice, right?
I'm going to turn my sound down.
I like to make a tint of each color. And I just got a warning that my internet, we're getting a new internet service provider here in a few weeks. So I like to mix these tints here of cadmium yellow medium and cad orange and cad red light. Make these tints. They really help for when you're painting quickly, and they keep those colors nice and clean. A little bit of purple or any one of these other colors is just going to turn it to brown like yesterday. So I've got this scene here that I'm working from. That's a view of my desktop. And I use Photoshop. I've got an old grandfathered version of Photoshop that I use, and I don't have to pay monthly rentals on that. And this is a scene of La Jolla. I try to make up a warm neutral gray. So this is pretty neutral here. I'm going to go a little bit cooler, a little bit blue. It doesn't matter. It could be any kind of color. But first thing I do is I sketch in my light and dark pattern, my light and dark shapes. And as I don't know if Mark can go to both screen.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me see. So is this one see if I can zoom out. It's coming. There we go. You may have to do it on your side, Ray. It's not letting me. It's doing that thing where it's locking me up. Yeah, you try.
Okay. There we go. There's my scene. No, it's
right now, Ray. That's a great shot.
Super. So I start off, all my paintings the same. I mean, generally all my paintings the same, as just getting the light and shadow shapes going. If I start off painting all my shadow shapes, I get the sense of form right off the bat. Well, this is a new frontier for all of us. I see a lot of people are doing these webinars. Looks like Lori Putnam's going to be doing one with OPA here soon, and they're limiting it to 500 people. My goodness, that's a lot of people.
Is live now. Click on the live button.
She's doing customer support for somebody who called us on our landline. So just like we're there, right? Let me show you something here. This is a painting. This is a sketch that I did on location. I feel pretty good about the color, but I'm not happy with the design. I'm not crazy about the way things stacked up here. And but I like the color, so I'm using that for color reference, and then I'm using my photograph for drawing. That's pretty much the traditional way of painting. Artists have been doing this for a long time. Okay, here we go. Okay, so at this point, I'm able to really resolve any kind of compositional issues that I don't feel 100% comfortable with. See, I've got I can judge whether or not I've got an equal amount of light and dark shapes. I can judge the spacing of the shapes. This is essentially my composition, and this is the way I start all my paintings. You can really get a feel of the direction of the painting. You sort of get a sense of form with the light and shadow, and the rhythm, the general rhythm of it. So from here, I can, if I'm happy with this, and I'm trying to do this pretty quickly, I want to see if I can get this blocked in about an hour. It's hard to see on your screen, but you can see how the cliffs are kind of darker, and they're a lot darker, and they're a lot warmer, you know, than you might think on your first impression. But I try to compare all the colors to every other color that you see on your scene. Let's get started here. I got my shapes all done here. You remember those things from TV where it's like a one-man band, and you've got the cymbals between your knees, and you got you're tooting on a.
Totally. You're doing it though. You're pulling it off. It looks great.
Wow, that is strong. That is really strong.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I got her on.
Good. Ray, I liked what you said about the phthalo blue, that you don't even mix it in with your paint. You just wave the brush over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, phthalo greens and phthalo blues, yes. Yeah, you just need to breathe the fumes of it to get it going. So I took a picture of my palette, and she's going to post it in the comment section for those of you who are joining late and want to see what colors I use. I started off just blocking in my light and dark shapes. That's the way I always start my paintings, unless I'm working with a really bright color, in which I just I go for the light color first and then keep the painting off of that. Right now, I've established all my light and dark shapes, and then I've colorized them. I've assigned colors to them, and back in here is just a little bit more atmospheric perspective. I'll show you my reference again from what I'm working from. It's a shot I took down in La Jolla a couple of months ago. Let me switch back to my painting here. Essentially, I got all my dark shapes put in, trying to be mindful of the nature of water, the way it has different colors and reflections, and when the change from when it's clear and from when it's foam and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna quickly put in kind of a lightish bluish gray color here. I've got my reference that I painted from on occasion. I've got my reference here, and on this occasion I just touch it just like that, just to see how it's going. Looks like it's a lot grayer than what you'd think, huh? Blue ocean. Okay, so I'm going to use that color for, it's a little bit lighter than the white foam and shadow. I'm just going to block this in here, get everything kind of, you know, I think we need a staff of 30 people. One for make sure that the prog gas is working for her, and another one to control the lighting. I need a makeup artist, definitely need a makeup artist.
Well,
What's that?
internet.
Huh?
You just need better internet. That would solve an awful
yeah.
lot of our troubles right now. I'm coming through a little jumbled for you as well.
Yeah,
there's
the
no
comments.
need. It's probably better if you don't even talk.
Looking good, Ray. I mean, on my screen, which is not very clear, it looks so solid.
Oh, good.
I wish I had a clearer picture, but anyway, it looks great.
Sweetheart, thank you. Go ahead and ask me questions. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments section, and I'll be happy to answer them.
Like, what's for dinner?
Good one. Where'd you get that one?
That's your favorite. That's your standby lie comedian. Acrylics or oil, Ray?
These are oils.
Well, I insert. No, I can only do an emoji in this comment part, but it's on your website. Are you using any medium? Sally wants to know.
I am not. I'm just using Terp.
What earth tones are on your palette?
I've only got one, yellow ochre. And I didn't even mark that on there. I should have put that. I should have indicated that on there in that photo. But sometimes I'll put raw yellow ochre and raw umber just for some of these dark colors, so just to sort of speed things up. Thank you for asking, guys. Mark.
We can take a break, Ray. I can put up a little timer.
Oh, I was just trying to be funny.
Oh, you don't have to try. You're so funny.
Yes. This program is brought to you by PRMC.
The world famous.
That is our group for these online workshops that we've been doing. Perhaps Mark can tell you a little bit about
that. Tell what is PRMC or P?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually this is pretty sure my audio is coming through fairly clearly for everyone. This is one of my favorite stories. Back in, I don't know, it was probably 2017, maybe 2018, October. Ray and Peggy and I happened to be kind of in a show together here in Colorado, in Denver. And Ray and Peggy were traveling across the country, recreational vehicle. And Ray and I were drinking a little bit of wine, and I said that I was teaching some online classes back before, let me just put that in there, back before it was cool, doing online classes. And Ray had said that he wanted to try to do that as well. And not knowing what we were in for, what we were getting ourselves into, we just started in the coming weeks after that. We started calling each other and testing out different equipment. Ray, I've got some pretty funny pictures of Ray out. And in fact, I probably can share one of them.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Of Ray just out there in the middle of nowhere with tripods. Here was Ray in the beginning. This was one of his first live plein air demonstration He set up all of those things. We waited for the sun to come out. He did it just turned out to be a very difficult thing to manage. And so now time has passed. We've streamlined some of the technology, and Peggy teaches a weekly class right now on Thursdays at noon Pacific time, and that's been really fun. She's got a Facebook group going for that as well. And so now Ray is firing up his workshop. Ray, tell us some information about that workshop.
Every scene that you go to has got a certain approach that you want to use, and it's mostly going to be about strategies that you want to use when you paint a specific scene. I've got 4 different demos and lectures that I'm going to be doing live, just like I'm doing here. We're doing it through Zoom too, so it's not, we don't have to filter it through Facebook. It doesn't have to go through the Facebook filter. And one of them is going to be it's called Wild Water. It's going to be about waves. I explain all the different things that I look for when I'm painting water, the different colors that you see, and the shadow areas of the foam, and how to key everything off your lightest lights and stuff like that. And then the second one, I'm not sure what order they're in. There's going to be one on Spring Creeks. I was just out the other day looking at some of the local creeks here, and got some wonderful shots of those that I'd like to work up and share with you. And then I'm taking it on the road to Vermilion Cliffs. I got a lot of trips back there, back to Vermilion Cliffs in northern Arizona, and I'm going to do a demo from one of those photographs. And that's been a lot of fun going back out there. I've made a lot of great friends on those trips. And it's going to be a morning shot of the Vermilion Cliffs. And then the final one's going to be the Grand Canyon scene, and that's going to be an excellent opportunity to figure out to share everything I know about atmospheric perspective, because you can, as you know, you can just see forever when you're up on that south rim. And so that's what I'm looking forward to in this online workshop. And of course, Mark is going to be there, and Peggy's going to be she's going to be feeding me questions and have her insights, offering her insights on everything too. And then Carol, of course, Carol's going to be there. She helps with a lot of technical stuff and helps in many ways on the end registration and troubleshooting. You know, that's the thing is that a lot of this stuff is really daunting, all this technology. But Zoom, it's only got a few different things that you go through to get to the actual meeting. And in the Zoom ones, we're also able to record everything in HD. And
Nancy had a question on, do you always start on a white canvas?
Thank you, Nancy. I generally try to. It doesn't always work out that way, but I prefer oil paint is translucent. It looks pretty opaque, and yes, if you load it up, you can get a pretty opaque color. But for the most part, it's a little bit translucent, and you're going to get more bright. You're going to get brighter colors if you paint on a white surface. I just have to make sure that I cover up all the little white space, all the little uncovered spots at the end. And then I also like to keep my colors as light and bright as possible, which that helps to work on a white canvas too, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, thank you. What else? Where am I here? How am I doing on time? I'm going to try to get this all blocked in an hour. Okay.
Each. But this is the best it's going to get, folks. Sorry.
Okay, Elizabeth has a question.
Yes.
When you decide value for a wave shadow side, do you think in percentages, such as like 30% or?
It's all thanks Elizabeth. It's all in comparison. I compare this shadow making sure that it's darker than any of the lights in the vicinity, in this vicinity. I try to make sure that this shadow is darker than any of the lights within the area. I try to make all my shadows darker than all the lights, and I try to carefully make this a little bit darker than any of the lights in the near area.
Doing just for a minute, Peggy, why don't you sign out of Facebook, because we're trying to run two in your internet. You're trying to run two video feeds.
So I just go back in and I refine all this stuff. I'm able to really think about.
But I look forward to the day that you guys.
You look forward to the day that what?
Upgrade your internet.
Oh,
That's we're all going to be so.
Yeah, I called them and they said, well, we can be out there next month.
Yeah.
So did you say 54 minutes? How am I doing on time here?
We are approaching the hour, so I'd say you've done your job today. A photograph of this that maybe you could post that on.
You know, I went to town here to check with a local school if I could use their broadband, and that was right before they shut it down with this virus thing. I hope everybody's staying healthy and sane, because mental health is also a good part of this too. So we need some seagulls. We need some sounds of seagulls and crashing waves. A little bit of Jimmy Buffett.
Some margaritas. I was going to say Coronas, but that's a little bit of a touchy word these days.
Thank you, Mark. Try to take more time in painting them, but a lot of the trickiness with this foam stuff is to make sure that you get the color temperatures right. What part is getting the light from the blue sky and what part is getting from the warm sun. I know that there's a lot of similarities between painting crashing waves in terms of color as there is with clouds. All right. Well, it's been an hour. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Peggy. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, everybody. Good. I loved your comments. Really appreciate them. See you guys.